Welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. E. Sivanag Reddy, former Director, National Institute of Tourism and Hospitality Management, and currently working as CEO, the Cultural Center of Vijayawada. Let us now discuss a module called Tour Operations Management for the paper Tourism in India. After learning this module, you will be able to know what tourism operations business is, to know the role, responsibilities and functions of tour operators, to understand the meaning and concept of packaging a tour, to know about the itinerary preparation and travel documentation, and understand the marketing and promotion of tour packages. As has been discussed in most of the modules, that tourism centers around business. It is a business proposition that most of the stakeholders, particularly apart from the direct stakeholder, the tourist, rest of the people are also known as stakeholders. They believe in business. If a private person wants to join in the tourism sector, he has to invest some money, and by investing money, he also expects some revenue. And at the same time, he also provides some employment in the industry. Keeping this aside, government, both central, state and undertakings, they also invest for promotion of tourism, and at the same time they also expect some revenues apart from generation of employment and involvement of local communities. This is the underlying principle of tourism promotion, and also the policy formulation will also lead the same ideas and emphasize tourism development with the maximum participation of the local communities, which also derive maximum benefits to a nation or a region in which tourism destinations are studied. To run the business as a successful enterprise, we need many more people to support it. First and foremost, the government supports. The next is the local self-governments, and the third is the tourism products, and the fourth is none other than the private partnership. Unless until private partnership is welcomed, we cannot develop tourism 100%, because government priorities are totally different. They are welfare centric and they are people oriented. All the government budgets are centered around people's development only. In this context, they could give a little and marginal fractions of funds for development of tourism. In this context, private partnership will join, enhance, strengthen the tourism development by involving directly with a lot of investments putting into the enterprises, whether it is a resort, it is a hotel, it is a travel agency, it is a tour operator or whatnot, any organization that can contribute for furtherance of tourism development. In this context, now the module focuses on the tour operator. Along with the travel agent, there is another term that we come across in tourism literature and newspapers and economic magazines, that is tour operator. And who is a tour operator? A man or an organization which is responsible to package all the components of tourism into one and directly delivers to individual travelers or groups. This is known as tour operator. Again, it has been said that tour operators are two categories, particularly one is outbound tour operator and inbound tour operator. What is outbound and what is inbound? For example, people from Sri Lanka, they would like to visit India, and the tourists are bound to India. These are known as inbound tourists. For them, there are some tour operators, they are called as inbound tour operators. from India. For example, a group of people would like to visit Makkah, and for them there should be an agency which could help them in processing their visa, in processing their travel formalities. These are known as what we call sins. A group of people intend to visit Makkah, that is outside the national boundaries of India. It is called as outbound tourism. So there are a specific group of operators called outbound tour operators. Then who is a tour operator? What are his functions? What is the structure of his office? How does he involve in promoting tourism? Is it only for promoting tourism, or at the same time will also concentrate on himself to sustain in the business by earning a little revenues? Let us discuss the issues in this particular module on tour operators business. Tour operator is an organization, firm or company which buys individual travel components separately from their supplies and combines them into a package tour which is sold with their own price tag to the public directly or through middlemen. In this context, who are the middlemen? The middlemen may be again travel agents, again small tour operators, or again some other agencies who will be in between the service provider and the tourist. They means the tour operators provide services themselves, as some have their own cars and coaches, hotels and other travel related services, or can obtain from other suppliers. For example, Cox and Kings. If we want to book a ticket through Cox and Kings, it also has tie-up with some of the hotels, some of the resorts, some of the cruise lines and some of the airlines, etc. So this is what we call is partnering with similar identical service providers is a meaningful enterprise in tourism. Tour operators are called wholesalers because a wholesaler buys goods or services in bulk at his by her own risk and account to prepare a tour package and then retails it through the travel agencies or directly to the clients. Tour operators generally offer variety of package tours to cater to the needs of different kinds of travelers. For example, yes, I want to visit a heritage site. I want to meet a particular tribe. I want to taste an ethnic food, and again I also want to take a small ride in a boat in a water body. For all these purposes, there are specific tour operators. They will provide the client centered services. This is also known as what you call the customized services. Customization, that I need this, he needs this, B needs that, A needs this. So all these aspects will be focused by tour operators in one way or the other. Hence, the tour operation business, not only in India, in any part of the world, is more successful even still today in spite of online bookings. Holiday packages are usually sold by travel agents, and some companies have their own retail outlets or sell directly to the public. Large operator may encompass all the stages in the production and sale of a holiday. The larger the company, the more specialized each employee's role in negotiating the various components of a holiday with carriers and hotel owners, etc. Yes, my dear students, why can't you just drop in yourself to a travel operator's office? For example, you can go Cox and Kings, you can also go to any TCI, Travel Corporation of India's office. You find different desks, and at every desk there will be a person, whether she is a lady or a gentleman, delivering some services, offering some services to the tourists. For example, a man will be exclusively dealing with booking of rail. Another desk will be dealing exclusively booking on flights. The next man will deal only about the forex or foreign exchange. The other person will provide you facilitation as far as travel documentation is concerned. You know that varieties of services are offered in a single office like Cox and Kings, Thomas Cook, TCI, whatnot. Any tour operator will provide enormous number of services to the clients so that their tour will be made more comfortable and successful. An efficient tour operation business requires various skills from the staff as well as commercial requirements. It doesn't mean that having established an office, it doesn't mean that we have achieved everything. No, you have to recruit people, then you have also trained them, and training the existing staff is one aspect, but upgrading their skill day to day as per the requirements of the clients. They want all of a sudden that I want to go to Harsley Hills, not anywhere else. Yes, your people should be able to give information on what Harsley Hills offers. Is it a natural site? Is it an environmentally sensitized or what we call fragile site? Or is it a heritage sites, or is the site associated with a literary personality or a philosopher? Such things is what we call specialized skills. On the other hand, if people want to take adventure activities, they should also be given enough training on those aspects, unless otherwise you have to say no. But in commercial aspects, no business enterprise says no. There is no word what we call in the business dictionary. The next aspect in tour operator business is requirement of skills for the staff, as has been said just now. With a group of well-trained staff and enough capital, tour operators have to work to achieve their objectives in making the tour successful and in making their business so effective and sustainable. Capital for business. Enough money is required to support payment of fixed costs, staff salaries, rent, etc. Up-to-date knowledge about the market. One has to be up to date what exactly the market is faring. Sometimes in some areas it may be dull, or in some areas there may be very brisk trading. All this information should be made available to the staff members. A tour operator should have up-to-date knowledge about the tourism products, about current trends of travel experiences and choices, changing laws and regulations. Conventions and laws make much more difference unless until if the staff members are not aware, you will lose a business. Pricing and so on. These are important aspects that your staff members should be knowing as a tour operator. Excellent product knowledge. Varieties of tourism products are on offer worldwide. These products ultimately give rise to emergence of new forms of tourism. In this context, the staff should be knowledgeable about existing and upcoming products, the latest products which are actually competing. Otherwise, in the tourism business, we will be the loser. Managerial and leadership skills. Staff should be guided and motivated every now and then to achieve the organizational objectives and goals. This is the emphasis that one has to do. Upgraded technology usage. If you are not computer savvy or updating with the current technological gadgets, you will again be lagging behind. In this context, it is hard to go ahead in tourism industry without the use of upgraded technology. It maximizes the efficiency of the tour operations business. Types of tour operators include majorly two categories. One is inbound tour operator and the other is outbound tour operator. Inbound tour operators are also known as incoming tour operators. Technically, the operators who receive guests, clients, tourists and handle arrangements in the host country are called inbound tour operators. For example, a group of European tourists coming through MakeMyTrip.com to India, and the company makes arrangements and handles the group in India, Make My Trip is called as inbound tour operator. This is given as an example. You can explore such many examples through your own knowledge and experience. The next category is outbound tour operators. Tour operators who promote tours to foreign destinations are called outbound tour operators. They also offer outbound packages through SITA, TCI, and Thomas Cook, etc. Domestic tour operators is another category. Assemble and combine tourist components into inclusive tours and sell it to the domestic travelers only. They don't bother and they cannot take up any such tour packages for the persons who would like to leave the country, that is foreign travelers. No, it is only meant for the domestic travelers, people who want to move around within the national boundary of India. In general, domestic tour operators provide travel services within the boundary of home country and offer package tours to the travelers as domestic inclusive tours or independent tours. Destination management companies by ground operators. This is a very recent phenomenon. We also have called destination management companies or destination management offices, known as handling agencies, and their main function is to organize tour arrangements for incoming tourists on behalf of overseas operators. When a tour operator himself promotes tours at different places, the difficulty arises. What is the difficulty? It is the ground operator who handles the incoming travelers in the same season but at different places, ensuring that the entire operation is according to the package tours or agreements already concluded. Let us discuss on types of tours and tour packages. As we have noticed that tour packages can be discussed under three subheads. Under types of tours, we can just list down three categories. One is inclusive tours, followed by independent tours, and fully escorted tours. Let us discuss on the main aspect of the types of tours and tour packages. There are a number of tour operators offering tour packages to their retail agents or directly to the clients. Packaged tours can be further classified into special interest customized tours to fully escorted tours. Independent tours. Independent tours, also known as foreign independent tours, that is within brackets FITS, and domestic independent tours, that is DITS within brackets. These are made according to the customer's preferences and choices. Independent tour doesn't always mean that the tourist has to travel on his own. It can be a package of transportation, ground arrangement, and the service of local host too. Inclusive tours. Group inclusive tours are known as GITS, are offered by the tour operators at an exclusive price by purchasing tour components from different vendors and combining them, such as airlines, hotels, cruise lines, car rentals, companies, etc. It is less expensive than independent tours. I can give you one small example. If I want to visit Goa, yes, my Goa visit includes transportation from my place of residence to Goa, then transfer from airport or railway station or bus stand to the hotel, and from the hotel I will be taken to the destination, and within the destination I also need some supporting service, and from there I will go to further sightseeing. So this all involves varieties of services packaged in one aspect. Fully escorted tours. Tours where a tour operator's service is available from the starting point till to the end point of the tour. It is also known as conducted tour. That is, there will be an escort who will accompany you right from you getting into the bus or train or flight, and he will be taking care all the activities involved until you end your tour. It is also known as conducted tour. The tour escort assists the tourists with all their requirements throughout the trip. This is very important aspect of escorted tour or fully escorted tour. The components of tour package. Package tours are combination of different travel related services clubbed together. Transport, accommodation, and meals are the major components in any package tour. Tour packages can be of any duration and any distance. It doesn't mean that I will only visit a city very close to me. No. I can sometimes even cross the national boundary and visit exotic places like Greece or some other area. Major components of tour package. It begins with accommodation. One of the major inclusions in any of the tour package is accommodation, that is none other than a hotel, whether it is a budget hotel or a lodge or a star hotel, a non-star hotel or a resort or a timeshare. Accommodation facilities included in the tour package. Different types of accommodation offered are cliff hotels, cave hotels, tents, igloo hotels, resorts, houseboats, and many more such categories. Transfers. The transfers between airport, harbor, station, and hotel are mainly represented by the term transfer. It is an essential term that every tour operator should be well aware of it. Local sightseeing. Visiting different places of interest within the tourism destination. In inclusive tours, local sightseeing is always included with entrance fee to attractions, whereas in some customized tours, these may not be included. Only the tourists have to take entry tickets as and when they are taken to a particular destination like zoo or a monument where there are entry fee is levied. Cruise. Cruise have become an experience in its own atmosphere. Some tour operators also include pleasure trips in cruise liners in their tour packages. There are cruise journeys of durations ranging from one night to more than a week. If you want to visit Sri Lanka, you can just go, I think, within a night. But if you want to visit some other foreign country which is very far away, you need a week's time. This all depends upon how you plan, where exactly you want to reach. Major cruise liners catering to the tourists are Royal Caribbean and Star Cruise. These can accommodate thousands of tourists in one trip, and the cruise are built in various levels. Some are 6-storied, some are 10-storied. It is a wonderful experience. Itinerary components. What is an itinerary? Itinerary is tour planning. An itinerary can be defined as a travel plan describing a route or routes of travel with the list of places to visit. I, for example, myself would like to visit South India. Where in South India? South India means I first land in Chennai, and from Chennai I would like to visit Tanjore, and from Tanjore I would also further go to Madurai, and from Madurai I will further move to Kanyakumari or the Cape Comorin. This all depends upon my own choice, my affordability and disposable time and money. For this purpose, what we need is an itinerary well defined and clearly written down beforehand you take up your tour. This will definitely help you a lot. An itinerary is essential for carrying out a smooth tour, and it consists of pace. For the tourist to enjoy the trip, an itinerary of comfortable pace should be designed. While deciding the pace, customers' age and health should be considered. Routing. An interesting and proper routing is an important factor while designing an itinerary. Interest. Sometimes, considering the tourist's interest in activities and attractions in the destinations helps in meeting customers' expectations. Details. Ensuring that customers have necessary travel documents and checking whether all attractions are open to tourists on the dates of the journeys, etc., make the trip hassle-free. Sometimes, when we are on Fridays at a particular destinations where there is a wonderful museum, but we cannot see the museum on Friday because Friday is a national holiday for museums throughout the world. Or zoos, Monday is holiday for zoos. We should also be knowing all these factors beforehand, and it should be incorporated in the travel plan, or what we call the details of the itinerary. Energy. While designing itinerary, it is an important aspect to ensure that the schedule of the tour is in accordance with the energy level of the tourist. Supposing a very senior personality aged 80 years would also like to take an adventure activity, but unless otherwise he was well trained and he can take the risk of that adventure tourism, we are not supposed to advise him to take that adventure tourism. Sightseeing. Sightseeing attractions are added to the tour considering the tourist interest in the case of customized holidays, where all the sightseeing is included in inclusive tours or based on the themes of the tour. For example, in one tour, you might have factored visiting a resort, visiting a zoo, visiting a heritage museum, again visiting a handloom center, etc. It should be taken care well in advance while you make your itinerary clearly defined beforehand. Meals, another important, because if some of the foreigners would like to take precautionary measures that gastronomical trouble should not hamper their trips in India. Meals, there are different meal plans available in tour packages. What are they? They are very interesting, or unless otherwise, if we are not aware of these meal plans, as a tour operator business personality, we will be failing in our duty. Let us know what the meal plans are known worldwide. The first is American plan. What is it? This meal plan includes all the 3 meals of the day. Cruise ships and rural tours offer this plan as part of the package. Bermuda plan. This meal plan offers only one full cooked breakfast and no other meals are offered. Continental plan. A daily light breakfast is offered in this meal plan. In some countries, more elaborate menus are available. European plan. This does not include any meals. Modified American plan. This is a modified American plan where a major meal of the day and breakfast is offered. The other components of itinerary also include travel insurance. For your knowledge that in foreign countries, unless until the tourist gets an insurance for covering the entire tour, he is not allowed to take, or he is not given visa for foreign travel. But in India, for domestic tours, we don't insist. If we insist, visiting risky places, risky areas like mountaineering or participating in adventure tourism, insurance is a very well suggested plan. Unexpected medical costs, lost or damaged baggages, new reservations while traveling, accidents, etc. will cover in travel insurance. In some countries, travel insurance is mandatory to obtain visa. This is a source of additional profit to tour operators because on insurance policies they will get a little revenue. Travel insurance is included in most of the all-inclusive tours. There are certain miscellaneous components in preparing the tour itinerary. What are they? They include promotional gifts. If you book a ticket from TCI, they will just give you, along with the ticket, they will offer you a small travel bag, or they will give you a cap, or they will give you shoes, or they will give you some other equipment which is useful for the purpose of your travel. That is very important, so that you will become loyal clientele to them and you repeat taking tour packages from the same company. Complimentary drinks. As soon as you arrive or enter into the tour operator's office, they simply offer a welcome drink that as a nice gesture. Next, baggage handling charges. They don't take any baggage handling charges even if you exceed 2 kgs of your luggage more than the prescribed luggage. They sometimes will bear the same cost because they feel that it is part of service offering to the clients. Next one is service charges. Service charges are levied nowadays invariably by all the travel agencies and tour operators, but in some cases service charges are not at all levied from the clientele bill. Tips for tour managers and local guides, taxes, etc. This is a very important aspect because we won't be knowing that how to behave in a national park. We don't know how to enter or move around inside a defense area. These are some of the things that our tour managers have to be informed well in advance. Similarly, the local site guide. The local site guide is informed only of the site itself. If you go on asking him many more questions which are not related to the local site, he will not be able to provide you. So these are some of the tips that the tour operators will provide us. Apart from these, taxes. In some areas, we have to pay some taxes, some toll gates, etc., for which we should be open, or otherwise there will be what we call some rupture in between and your tour will not be enjoyable. Tour documents. Some documents are mandatory whereas some are recommended. For example, arrival visa on arrival is an incentive or a promotional thing that most of the countries' tourism departments are offering. If we want to visit Sri Lanka, visa on arrival facility is there. If we want to visit Nepal, visa on arrival is there. But on the other hand, if we want to visit UK or Denmark or Australia, visa is a must, it is a prerequisite. So, as a tour operator or as a staff member of various branches of the tour operator's office, you should be well aware of all these facts and aspects. Thus, the regulations about travel documents vary according to the nationality of the tourist and destination country. Passport. It is a travel document usually issued by a country's government or a competent public authority that certifies the identity and nationality of its holder, mainly for the purpose of international travel. Passports contain the given name, family name, date of issue, date of expiry, place and date of birth, photograph, signature, and other information of the traveler. Visa is another term that we come across and another document we really need to perform our travel if we cross the national boundaries. Visa is a permit which allows one to enter, live or stay for a specified period of time in a country. Normally, a visa has an expiry date and it also mentions the number of entries permitted to one country. Some countries allow visa on arrival, that is called as VOA within brackets, for citizens of certain countries. Various types of visas are available. Transit visa. This is issued when a person passes through the country to a destination outside that country within a validity not more than 10 days. Tourist visa. This visa is issued to a person traveling for leisure purpose. Medical visa. When a person is traveling for medical or health purpose, this type of visa is issued. Business visa. This visa is issued to a person who is engaging in commerce in the issued country. Under the same category of tour documents, health certificates are most essential. Some countries insist upon the health certificates, otherwise your visa will be rejected. Some countries require their tourists to obtain a health certificate as a proof that they have been vaccinated against infectious diseases. There are some compulsory vaccinations and recommended immunizations. This requirement of health certificates varies from country to country. Before commencing a tour, the health regulations of the destination country, transit country, and country of origin have to be considered. The last section of the components of tour documents include under the category other components such as the cost of the tour, accommodation type and nature, attractions which include varieties of places to see which are mentioned in the tour package, pre-tour and post-tour expenses, advertising and promotion cost, promotion, advertisements of tours, tour brochures, offers and discounts. In some countries, for example, if there is a great national cultural feat or festival like Rio Carnival or Goa Carnival, some of the hotels or other shopping areas will give some offers and discounts to the tourists so that their business could be in full swing. To recapitulate the module, tour operators generally offer variety of package tours to cater to the needs of different kinds of travelers as has been explained in the very introductory phase of this lesson. Package tours are a combination of different travel related services clubbed together to create an uninterrupted tour experience. Tour operations bring profit to the operators and at the same time benefit to the host community. Last but not the least, tour package consists of different components that have been just now discussed at length. Thank you.